Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Sunday.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. KOGA Regenerative. Yeah, we're all ready to go. We got Kirsten, we got Sean, we got you. We're not doing this live, of course, because we're traveling right now. But that's of no consequence to you because you can still enjoy this great workout. To get started today, we're going to bring our feet about hip width apart. We're going to find an alignment of our toes straight forward at the foot so we're not angling out to the side. You're going to take a nice decompression breath. And when we decompress, we're going to work on our hips to shoulders, finding nice length through the whole vertebral column. Let's take your hands all the way above your head. Beautiful. Now, same thing with the spine. I'm going to use the arms and I'm going to separate the fingers. I'm going to use the fingers to pull the arms long as we create length for the whole spinal column. With that nice length in the body, I want you to brace a little bit in your tummy, your belly. I want you to try to hollow it out by pulling the belly button in towards the spine. And as you do so, we're going to put a slight break in the knees, a little bend, and we're going to pull our butt backwards. Beautiful. Take a powerful inhale. On the exhale, pull your butt back a little more and fold all the way forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Walk out to a plank. It's called walking the plank, kind of like a pirate used to do back in the old days. Now, let's give me a little bit of a push up. I mean, hover low, and then come back up. Okay, now pull your hips back and up, down dog. Let's bend your knees and lower them just above the floor. Walk your hands back towards your body. Let your feet drop down onto the heels and come up into a standing position, sweeping the arms all the way up to the sky. Awesome. Once again, finding that nice position of feet hip width apart, toes forward, length for the whole vertebral column as the fingers pull the arms long. Brace, bend the knees, pull the butt back. Beautiful. This time, let's release the arms down. We're going to spiral the thumbs externally away from the body. And we're going to pull the arms as far back as we can. We're going to find a nice opening for the chest. We're going to try to avoid compressing the shoulder blades. Contrarily, we're going to try to expand and open the chest. Take a powerful inhale. On the exhale, bring the hands back up. Arms long. Fingers pull the arm nice and long. Take another powerful inhale, and on this exhale, pull your butt back as you hinge forward. Coming hands to the floor, walking back out to your plank. In our plank pose, we're bracing the spine. We have our belly button hollowing up, pulling up. We have a nice little break in the elbows, and we haven't internally rotated the elbows. We externally rotated them, but not too much. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, pull your hips back and up. Bend your knees, lower them just above the earth. Walk your hands back towards your body. Let the heels drop to the earth. As you unfold, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky or the ceiling if you're inside. Nice. Bring your hands heart center. Take your butt back. Bend your knees slightly. Before we go into any further depth with this, I want to get a little bit of realization of how to brace the spine. We're going to talk about bracing spine today. It's one of the things that our bodies tend to lose the habit of doing just from being sedentary. So let's hollow out the belly. Let's grow the spine long. Let's make sure the chin is not protruding. We're going to elevate the chin slightly and then put our fingers underneath it. And then we're going to try to keep the chin in place, but grow the back of the neck nice and long. And then pull the chin in towards the body. Now, let's take the hands, extend them forward. Imagine you're holding a globe. So we're going to kind of cup the globe. We're going to separate the fingers, but bring each fingertip together. We're going to make the arms nice and long. And we're going to push the fingertips into each other as we find length through the arms. Nice. Now, big inhale. On the exhale, keeping everything else neutral, raise the arms. Find length here in the arms and find compression in the fingertips. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's release the arms, let them sweep back and externally rotate the thumbs. And let's take those hands and sweep them back as far as we can. By a nice big extension. Let's avoid craning the neck. Let's draw that chin in. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's bring those hands back out front. Like you've got a globe. Bring the fingertips together. Push, fingertips, extend arms. Keep that nice compression. Raise the arms. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, release the hands, let them sweep back, open the thumbs. You're doing so great, honey. I love that smile on your face. Nice. Now, coming down onto the earth, we're going to sweep the hands up. We're going to pull the butt back as we fold forward. The knees are going to bend a little more. We're going to walk out to our plank. And we're going to come down onto our forearms. Now, these are always optional, right? We know that our body feels stress, and this is all about learning what our body's stress is and how it feels and how to avoid stress. Stress is compression. We want to kind of avoid compression in all of our joints. So right now, as I'm asking Kirsten to hold this pose, I'm asking her also, as you, to realize what's going on. Does it feel good? And if it does feel like too much overload for any of the muscles that are working right now, we can simply put our knees down on the earth. Now we're going to work this exercise a little differently. We're going to bring our knees down. And then we're going to elevate them up off the earth. We're going to drive our heels backwards. We're going to find more length in the legs. And we're going to take the spine. We're going to try and lengthen through all of that. And as we lengthen the spine, I want you to hollow out the belly. So you're basically pulling your belly button up and into the spine. Beautiful. Let's bring those knees back down to the earth. Let's start by hollowing out the belly first. And now taking the knees up off the earth and driving the heels backwards. Straighten the legs. Make the muscular connection from the toe up and through the ankle, all the way through the legs, all upper body, and down onto your mat and forearms. Lower the knees. Pull the belly button up, lift the knees. Beautiful. Now, keeping that torso all active, come back up onto your hands, high plank. Pull your hips up and back. Beautiful. Drive the heels to the earth. Bend the knees. Bend them even more. Get them right above the earth. Bring your hands, walk them back to the body. If the heels drop to the earth, sweep the hands to the sky as you stand tall, and then relax. That's your warm-up. You all warmed up?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, very hot. Not to mention that great top. We'll talk about that later, maybe. All right, let's take your right foot as you step it forward. We're going to come up on the toes of the left foot. We're going to find width in our stance today. So our stability and stance happens with width. A lot of times we see people in a single line with their feet. The width helps give the stability. Same things we did before. We're going to take the arms straight out in front of the body. We're going to create those two cups. We're going to bring them together. We're going to find length of the arms and compression through the fingertips. Nice. Now, orientation of ear, shoulder, hip. Vertical line. We haven't leaned forward. There's no more weighting in the front leg and the back leg. You've found a spot where it's relatively equal. We have this compression working. Awesome. Now, take the arms up. Decompress. Lengthen. Push the fingertips together. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's take a slight rotation, just about, 2 or 3 inches. Come back center. As you lower the arms, take the left foot, step it forward, and then step the opposite foot backwards. Find that nice balance, find that nice width. Let's get the arms in action. Push, extend, elevate, lengthen, make longer, push harder, slight rotation, Rotating lefts towards the left leg if we have the left leg forward. Make it longer. Bring it back square. Release the arms, step the foot forward. Opposite side. I'm going to do this one more time on each side. I know how people like fluidity and continuity. Kirsten's into the pose already. Hopefully you are too. Looking really good. I love this. Slight rotation. A lot of times people try to rotate with the arms. Make sure it's the whole shoulder carriage. This is a spinal rotation we're trying to achieve. Come back center. Lower arms. Switch legs. This is a good therapy. So a lot of the muscles we're working right now as we sweep the arms to the sky, rotate the shoulder carriage, are the smaller muscles of the spine that help to really stabilize the spine. We're actively working the rotators and so on and so forth. This is really good for us relative to spinal stabilization. Take the hands back to the sky. Beautiful. Pull the butt back slightly. Release the arms, sweep back, open the thumbs. Try to give a lot of extension backwards. Boom. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Let's widen the arms a little bit. Let's lengthen the arms as much as we can. Let's separate the fingers. And let's use that separated finger or fingers to pull the arms long. Almost like we're lifting the shoulders right up and off the body. And we're going to take the ribs. We're going to kind of pull up the whole rib cage without kind of jutting forward and not hyper arching for the back. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's bring the arms down. Let's bring the elbows all the way back. Let's clench the fists, open the thumbs to the sky. We have a little bend in the knees still. We have that nice brace. We're pulling and hollowing out that belly button. Let's pull the hips back slightly more. And let's hinge halfway forward. Let's pull the chin in so we're not leaning down with the chin. Come back up to standing. Come back down halfway. This is an integrated movement. We have all of the parts moving together. So all of the parts of the spine, we're not going into flexion or extension. We're keeping the spine braced. So the only movement that we're trying to express right now is just that in the hips. Hips hinging forward, hips extending as we open up. Let's do this 2 more times. You should feel a good tension in the posterior muscles, the gluteals, the hamstrings. Is that a little bit of sweat going on there?
No, just an itch.
Just itch, okay. All right. Let's come all the way forward with the right foot and come back. Take the back heel, drop it to the earth. So we're kind of like in a pyramid type pose. Let's walk the hands down the leg. Now, as we come down, we want to come down with spine and extension. So we're not going into flexion. So the depth of pose will be different for each of us. It doesn't have to look exactly like Kirsten's doing right now, but you can see there's great extension of the whole spine. It's all braced. Let's take the hips and draw them back slightly. Let's bend the front knee just slightly. Beautiful. Now, while we keep the heel of that back foot on the floor, let's bend the back knee slightly. Beautiful. Let's walk the hands up and onto the thighs. With a spine remaining extended, come all the way back up to a standing position. Find a balance between the front and the back legs. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands out in front. Create your globe. Push, squeeze, lengthen the arms. Sweep the hands up. Beautiful. Straighten both legs. Elevate all the way through the rib cage. Keep that nice length through the spine. Sweep forward. You can walk your hands down if you need the support. If your muscles are still developing the strength to do this, help them. Use their hands to walk it down. Beautiful. Bend both knees slightly, put a little break. Try to pull the hips backwards. Keep the break in both knees. Sweep the arms up all the way to the sky. Come back up to a standing position. Let's bring hands heart. Switch feet. This is a great exercise for me. As we plant the back heel firmly to the floor, let's bring the hands out in front. Where are you going? Oh yeah, the teachers now, sorry, yeah, we're switching roles. All right, so we're gonna globe, extend the arms, sweep them up. I know, we didn't start the exercise like this last time. My mistake, but I learned. All right, arms long, lifting with the rib cage, not pushing the ribs forward. This whole thing's kind of lifting up. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, hinge it. Spine, embraced, not letting go as we come through the motion. Range of motion, always determined by how stable our spine is. So if it's losing its form, if it's kind of going into flexion, there's no need to go further in the hinge than that. Just hold out in that particular spot. Bend both knees, pull the hips back. Inhale, arms sweep to the sky as the body rises. Put the fingertips together. Make the arms long. Beautiful. Globe it a little more, sweetie. There you go. Give me the globe. I want the globe. Powerful. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Spine long, spine braced. Love it. Fingertips to the earth. Bend both knees. Pull the hips back slightly. Beautiful. Try to keep the hips square. As you unhinge, bring the hands all the way to the sky and bring hands heart center as you step the back foot forward. Beautiful. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, bend both knees, forward fold all the way. And let's bring that booty down onto the mat. Oh, now it's nap time. Good night. I'm just kidding, of course. All right, let's come all the way down onto the mat. Let's take your legs and extend them all the way along the floor. I'm going to ask you to scoot back a little bit because your feet are a little bit off the camera. Let's bring legs together, feet together. So the ball of each foot is now touching. We're going to try and squeeze the legs so that the knees come as close as possible, and we have a big activation in our inner thighs. So you can feel those nice inner thigh muscles, or maybe not so nice, maybe even shaking a little bit. Let's take your hands above your chest so it's straight out. We're going to come back to the globe. We're going to push the fingertips together. We're going to make those arms nice and long. Beautiful. Now, while you work to compress and push the knees, and although I say compression's bad, in this case it's more muscle activation as opposed to joint compression. Squeeze the knees together. Take the hands, extend them all the way back, as far back as they can go, almost to the floor if you can get them there. And if they don't go there, it's not important. Important part here is to find length. As we keep the feet flexed, and as we keep the ball of the feet of each foot pushing together, as we keep the knees pushing in towards each other, take the arms, make them longer. Imagine both ends of the body getting length. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, let's bring the hands back up. Beautiful. Let's relax that. Let's put a bend in both knees, and as we elevate them slightly, we're going to bring our heels to the floor. We're going to separate the feet a little wider than hip width apart, and then we're going to turn the knees and toes in to touch each other. Now, the angle here, more obtuse. We're going to take the feet out farther. So there's, almost about 160 degrees. And if you're not a geometry major, don't worry about it. Nice length. Just a little bend in the knees. Isometrically, try to pull the heels in towards the butt. You're going to feel the posterior chain of the legs starting to activate. We're going to use the belly button. We're going to hollow it out. We're going to try and brace the lower spine by pulling and hollowing out that And then we're going to try to raise the hips up off the earth. Try. Push with the hands. Elevate the hips. Beautiful. Bring it slowly back to the earth. Relax. Let's bring the right leg over the left leg and try to keep the knees as close together as possible. We're going to bring both feet onto the floor. Sorry, one foot onto the floor, which is going to be our left foot onto the floor. We're going to use our right leg to pull the leg towards the right side of the body. My words get mixed up every once in a while. All right, I'm going to take the left hand, I'm going to reach it sky, and then I'm going to reach it straight back. I'm going to try and find length for this whole left side of the body by pulling long with the fingertips. Separate them nice and widely, pull nice and long. Beautiful. We're going to notice the knees have not gone to the floor. This is not about over-rotating. This is about lengthening along our side body. How are we doing?
I'm breathing.
You're breathing. Bring the knees back center. Switch them up. I'm going to take this to the opposite side. Knees as close together as possible. We're using the left leg to help guide the right knee slightly over, not all the way down. The right arm's going to extend up. The right arm's going to extend back. You notice when I say back, there's this little bit of a diagonal to the arm. It's not coming straight back. We're not trying to get it as close to the ear as possible. We're trying to decompress the side, the whole side body chain. How are we feeling there? Good stretch? Mm-hmm. 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 Got your leopard print top on? I'm like, mm-hmm. Love it. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, bring the knees back center, arm back straight. Extend the legs all the way out. Bring the hands up and over the chest. Let's globe them. Let's push the fingertips together. We're coming through this whole series again. Arms are nice and long. Take the arms. Now, before we even go anywhere with those arms, thanks for reminding me, sweetie. We're going to take the ball of the feet and the knees. We're going to squeeze them together. We're going to keep that nice activation of those inner thigh muscles. I'm going to extend the arms all the way back. You notice the movement is very slow. It's calculated. We want to feel the experience of the whole body, right from the heels, all the way up through the hands, lengthening. Making sure the ribs aren't popping up. We're not hyperextending through the back to create length. We're using the muscles of the front and back to lengthen the whole body. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, bring those hands back up. Let's let them chill for a little bit. Let's bring the feet in slightly, just a few inches. I'm going to separate knees and hips. I'm going to rotate the knees and toes to touch. We're going to activate the posterior chain by trying to drag the heels. Without moving them, we're just creating that activation. Do you feel it in your backside?
Yes.
Yes. Can you be more emphatic? Yes. All right. Hollow out the belly. Raise the hips. Beautiful. To help, to assist, you can take the palms with the arms straight and try to push into the mat. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. On the next exhale, release the hips down. Pull the knees, feet flat to the floor. Right crosses over left this time. Right knee pulls left towards the earth. Left hand reaches to the sky. Left hand reaches back. Separate those fingers nice and wide. Get that arm long. Oh, rotate. Nice opening. How are we doing?
Feels great.
Feels great. 2 thumbs up. Inhale. Exhale. Come back center. Knees rise. Switch it up. Nice rotation down, pulling with the left, arm up, arm sweeps back. Just in case it's going on in your mind that this isn't fair, because I'm doing all the talking and she's doing all the work, Kirsten's doing all the work, we're going to switch this around. We've actually taped this before we did our other class, but nonetheless, she gets to punish me later. So it's all good, right? Come back center with the knees, come back up with a hand. Pull the knees up and into the chest. Pull your forehead up to meet the knees. Let's rock back and forward. Nice. and come all the way up to a seated position. Extend the legs all the way out. Beautiful. Take the arms above the head, cup the fingers, extend long. We're going to bring the arms slightly in front of the body. We're going to try and create length through the whole arm. Whole arm. Everything's getting long. Nice. Beautiful. How's this feeling?
Good.
Good. Can you do this all day?
No, what's next?
I think someone's saying they're getting bored. Let's very slowly bring the hands down, chest height. Now, this is kind of Pilates-like. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and rotate through the hips and take one vertebrae at a time, starting at the lumbar spine, and kind of imprint it on the mat. So we're going to kind of rotate out, hollow out the tummy. We're going to try to make sure the shoulders don't pull forward. They're just cantilevering with the arms, coming down all the way. Great job. That looks so good. Let the head hit all the way back. Bring the arms all the way back. The wall's going to be in the way for you now, but I understand. We can modify slightly. Now bring the hands back up over the chest. And we're going to reverse what we just did, starting at the head and the neck and the upper body. Come back. Oh, oh. Now, some of us might need some assistance. We have abdominal muscles that aren't as strong as Kirsten's. So if we need, we can actually put our feet on the earth. So hold up 1 second. Bring your feet flat to the earth. And now grab under your hamstrings. I'm going to show the modification. Hollowing out the belly, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Got to keep everyone included, right? Yeah, that's what it's all about, including everybody. Take your arms all the way back. Cup the fingers, push the fingertips together. Nice and long, long, long. Rib cage not popping. Come back up. Hands to assist if you need. Beautiful. One more time. I'm going to try this one more time. Hands to assist if you need. Legs extended if you can. One vertebrae at a time. This is a very slow, active movement. Nice job. I'm so proud of you.
I'm a good model.
You're a great model. All right, come all the way back up. All the way with legs straight if you can, knees bent, hands assisting if you can. Beautiful. Let's relax that. Come on to all fours. Sweep the feet back. Nice. We're going to find a nice position, stable position, making sure our spine's nice and engaged. We're going to hollow out the belly button or the tummy. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to reach it forward. Same thing. Nice separate fingers, arms pulling long. Beautiful. Let's take the arm out at about a 45-degree angle. Let's pull it long. Beautiful. And let's try to reach. Imagine there was like $1 million sitting right over by your fingertips, and you just had to get like just an inch more. It's one of these things where we just want to reach, but we don't want to see the body shift. We want to kind of see a nice distribution of weight, equal on the upper body and on the knees. Let's switch sides. Long and balanced. You can tell which knee has more pressure in it, so make the pressure equal in both knees. Let's make sure we're not pedestaling out on the one arm, have a slight bend in the elbow. It's a simple trick, instead of externally rotating the elbow or internally rotating it, just have a slight external rotation, just like that. Let's switch sides. I'm going to add some dimension to this. I know, this is exciting stuff. I'm going to keep long. We're going to bring our right leg, I'm going to extend it back. Beautiful. Now, we have a little bit of angling going on in our arm. We're going to do the same with the leg. We're going to push the heel long. We're going to almost lock out at the knee. We're going to try to avoid shifting our hips to the left. And we're going to take the right leg, we're going to move it away from the body as far as we can without shifting the hips. Beautiful. See a little wobble going on? Great. We want to kind of find our balance here. Take a big inhale. Come back onto all fours on the exhale. Switch sides. Right arm extends, left leg out. Take the toes, aim them towards the earth. Beautiful. Pulling up with the belly. I'm going to hollow out that tummy as best we can. Take the left leg without shifting the hips. Try to move it away from the body a little more. On the exhale, come back to all fours. Adding another variation of this. We're going to take the left hand, extend it all the way out beside the body. Palm can face whatever direction you want. We're going to reach like we're reaching for the $1 million prize, just fractions of an inch away from your fingertips. Nice. Now take the right leg as we extend it back. We're going to pull that right knee up and into the right armpit, as close as we can get. Beautiful. Let's round through the back. And then when we extend the leg back, let's extend the spine. Nice and long. Belly pulling in. Let's do that 2 more times. Up. Back. 1 more time. It looks so good. You look so strong. Extend back. Come back onto all fours. Switching up sides. Right arm extends out to the side. Pull it long. Enjoy that. Left leg, extend it back. Nice. While we work to keep the shoulders square and elevated hips square, pull that left knee up and into the armpit. Spine comes into flexion. Leg extends, spine extends. Do it again. Nice. Last time. Up. Oh, pull it in deeply. Extend it all the way out. And come down onto all fours. Nice. Let's walk the hands out. And I'm in a child's pose. We're going to separate the knees widely. Turn the big toes in to touch each other. Beautiful. Catch a few breaths. We've been working hard. There's a lot of therapeutic exercises. You kind of wonder why it's called regenerative. It feels like I'm working so hard. Well, you are kind of working hard, but these are muscle building exercises. That the muscles we're building are the ones that stabilize the spine. Let's come on to our knees. Beautiful. Nice. How are we doing?
Good. What's next?
Nice. Probably give people cue. Anyways, what's next? We're going to take our hips back slightly. We're going to take our hands out in front. Oh my goodness. Pushing the fingertips together. Got that nice globe. We're kind of cupping like a ball, basically. A big softball, if you will, between the hands. Extend the arms long. Now, hollow out the belly. Raise the arms. Beautiful. Let's release the arms and sweep them back. Externally rotate the thumbs. And bring those arms and elbows kind of together behind the body. Nice. So we're widening through the shoulders and pulling through the elbows. Sweep the arms out in front. Now, varying the length of the arms, trying to make them longer, and we're going to lower them down just about belly button height. And then raise them back up shoulder height. You're going to feel little changes in the tension of the lower back. I'm going to kind of work that a little bit. And if it feels like it's too much tension for your back today, you can just take a break. Kirsten's going, I'm not taking a break. I got to show everyone how this is done. Let's do it 2 more times. Beautiful. And then let's bring our hands down on the floor. We're on all fours. We're going to go cat and cow. Using breath between the movements. Pulling up like we have a string right in the center of the spine. And then we're going to release the string and then pull with the sternum. That's the little process called the xiphoid process. How's that for complication? So we have a string almost in the center line of the body. We're pulling down and up. Down and up. Beautiful. And then pull your hips back, walk your hands out to child's pose. Separate the knees. Separate the knees. Get some width. Awesome. A little bit of work for the shoulders right now. You thought this was a rest, did you? You were wrong. Let's take the right palm, let's open it up to the sky. So we're just taking your thumb and rotating it externally so the palm faces up. I'm going to make sure that we're not pushing our forehead into the mat. Let's find length through the neck and just lightly have that forehead touching, just to kind of take some of the work off the neck itself. Let's switch hands. Take a couple breaths. It shouldn't be overly taxing. It might be a little bit challenging for some that have, a little bit of mobility issues with the shoulder. All right, let's bring both palms onto the earth and let's come up slightly. So we're going to form a wedge shape. So wedge, high on one end, low on the other. The low point is going to be our fingers. We're going to walk the hands forward. We're going to take the fingers and make them nice and wide.
Tuck your toes under.
We're going to bring our toes, we're going to tuck them under. So we have a nice balance. If you need cushioning under the knees, grab a towel, put it there. We're going to find length. So from hips all the way up along the shoulder, all the way to the back of the head. So we're going to take the chin, we're going to pull it into the body, and we're going to take the forehead up and off into the earth so we can kind of feel muscle, that whole back working. We're going to do the same exercise now by taking the right palm and opening it to the sky. We're going to come off the forearm of the palm, of the arm. So the fingertips are on the floor, the forearm is up off the earth. Beautiful. See if you can push that hand forward a little more. Nice. Now, rotate the palm back down. Switch sides. Drop off the forearms on both sides if we can. So it's just the palms touching the earth, or the palm and back of hand in this case. Let's flip that palm back down, come up onto all fours. Let's take the right hand. We're going to thread it through the gap between the left hand and the left knee. We're going to rotate the shoulder carriage. We're going to try and push that right shoulder across the body as best we can. We're going to notice that we have nice, firm stability in the hips. So the hips haven't shifted one way or the other. They're just remaining right over the knees. I'm going to come back up into all fours. I'm going to change sides. You'll notice that we have nice alignment for the spine. Hopefully you have the same. I have no camera on me, but I'm going to trust that you're doing it. And I really trust you. Let's come back center. Let's go to lie all the way down on our backs, transition over. Oh, still doing well?
Yeah. Fantastic.
How are we doing for time?
We're good. We have like 10 minutes.
10
8
minutes. Oh my goodness.
8 minutes.
We've got lots of time. I just want to be respectful of everyone's time, including yours, because I know you're like, okay, let's get this moving. All right, so let's take the left leg extended out along the floor. Let's take the hands, wrap them around the back of the leg, and let's pull that knee up and into the body. Beautiful. Nice flexion in the foot. We're going to keep a little bend in the knee, but we're going to extend the leg a little straighter. Right there. Nice. Yeah, let's make sure we haven't rotated the shoulders in. Let's try to expand across the chest, make that nice width as we use the arms to help pull or leverage the stretch. Let's pull the leg a little closer to the body if we can. So when we stretch hamstrings, which is what we're doing here, we're doing a twofer. We're kind of working the gluteals and getting length through them, but we're also kind of working the hamstring. And the hamstring stretch is really facilitated by the knee. So we're going to try and extend the leg a little straighter, but we're not going to a straight leg. No, we want to keep that little bend, kind of keep the belly of that muscle as the lengthening point. You can tell as we switch up sides. You can tell when you're stretching the muscle or the hamstring muscle a little bit too intensely because you feel the ends of the muscles pulling. So right up by your butt and right behind the knee. And that's more the connection point, the origination and the insertion point being pulled. And the belly of the muscle is not really getting an effective stretch. And that's where the most of the muscle is. So we want to lengthen out that area. So we're going to keep a nice little bend in the knee. And as we do that, we're going to try to use the connection point, the origin of the muscle, to kind of hold in place as we stretch out the belly a little more. How's that feel, sweetie?
Feels good.
Feels good.
Got a little shaking going on.
A little shaking going on. You know, if that muscle is shaking, you're actually getting into the muscle. It's begging for more water and for more oxygen. But that's what we're doing. We're kind of allowing the circulatory system to kind of feed the needs of the muscle. Let's bring that back down. Extend it all the way out, and simultaneously bring both knees up and into the chest, and bring the forehead up to meet the knees. Beautiful. And then extend it all the way out. And then do it again. Bring it back together. And then extend it all the way back out. And then bring it back together. Hollowing out the belly as it comes in. Oh, as those knees come in. Hold it there for a second. Nice. Now, keep the knees in place. Relax the upper body down. So the back of the head's hitting the floor. Extend the legs up and into the air. Nice. Now, bend both knees. Put a 90-degree bend. Take the left foot. While we keep the same bend in the knee, so we're not altering the degree of bend in the knee. We're going to take the left heel and lower it just above the earth. This is lengthening out our hip flexors. And come back up center. Switch sides. And then switch. Making sure we're hollowing out the belly. Switch out sides. Making sure our shoulders are finding expansion across as opposed to rounding in. Pull both knees up and into the chest. Forehead up to meet the knees. Rock and roll from front to back. Come all the way up onto your toes. Beautiful. Bring the knees, ankles together. Let's drive the heels towards the earth and raise your rear end up and into the sky. Let's bend the knees and lower the hips. Nice. Let's bring our hands out to face each other side by side, just in front of the body. Fingertips are still on the earth. Now, squeeze the knees, extend the spine, keep the spine extending. Bring the hands all the way up. Cup the fingers, bring the fingertips together. You'll notice how my arms are not all the way back. I'm going to try to lengthen first and then rotate without kind of hyperextending through the spine. So I have length through the arms, growing the arms longer, pushing those fingertips together a little more if I can. Arms a little longer. Take a big inhale. Exhale, relax the arms. Ah, how are we doing for time? We're there, aren't we?
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes. Oh, it's like a bonus.
Stretch.
We're going to do some
Pigeon.
stretches.
Pigeon.
Pigeon stretch.
Yeah, Anne's favorite and Karen's favorite.
Someone was reading my mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it. So plank.
Yeah, so let's come all the way down onto the floor, folding forward, walking out to plank. Take your right foot, sweep it up. Nice. Little nuances with pigeon stretch. Some you might be familiar with, some maybe not. The pigeon stretch is a great stretch to kind of work spinal stabilization. A lot of times we go into this stretch and we just kind of like let it all go and let it all kind of collapse towards the floor. And what we like to try to do is keep an integration. So if you imagine your body works systemically, there's a series of muscles that work together to make you move through all movements. So we're going to focus a little bit of attention to our spine, making nice and long, making sure the chin hasn't risen up. I'm going to draw it into the body, find nice length with the vertebrae of the neck. I'm going to walk the hands forward. I'm going to separate them a little wider than the shoulder width apart. As we work to keep length with the spine, I'm going to work to keep the hips nice and square. Your version of this pigeon stretch may not look like Kirsten's is, where there's a lot of flexion through the hip. You may be in a more elevated position where your shoulder carriage is a little higher. It's fine. It's not about perfecting someone else's stretch. It's about perfecting your stretch. I'm going to take another breath here. I'm going to walk the hands back in. I'm going to sweep that right leg back, come back into plank, and I'm going to bring the left foot forward. We're positioning the knee more internal to the body today. There's also a way of doing this where it's more external or away from the body. We have two different stretches relative to what we're positioning of the knee is. Hips square, nice and long. If you're in an elevated position where the shoulders are elevated, try not to be flexing to that upper body. Try to imagine extension to the spines. And we're not inwardly rotated with the shoulders, we're externally rotated with the shoulders. Make the neck long. Draw the chin up and into the neck. Walk the hands back. Sweep that back leg forward. Oh, come up under the toes. Drive the heels to the earth as your butt raises to the sky. Keeping that forward folded position. Bend the knees a little more for me. Let's make sure the knees aren't rotating away from the body or conversely rotating into the body. They're tracking right over the middle toes of your foot. And hang out here and breathe a little bit. So a lot of times when people do this to kind of stretch their hamstrings, they try driving their hips right up into the air and straightening out and locking out to the knees. And again, not optimal for lengthening the hamstring muscles. You can know exactly what I'm talking about if you feel like a lot of tension right in by where your ass is or your butt. Don't use that bad word. Or right down by the knees. The tension on both ends of the muscle mean that the belly of the muscle is not getting really an effective release. This is why bending through the knees a little bit helps to give a better stretch to the belly. Now, I know you've been breathing as I've been talking. I was just giving you a little bit of opportunity. Let's work to lengthen through each of the vertebrae of the spine. Let's make the same thing with the neck. Let's bend the knees a little more, lower the hips, and then unhinge, rise. Bring the arms to the sky. Let's bring our hands over heart. And let me thank you.
Thank you.
For your great job today. Thanks for participating with us.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm talking into the mic here so you can hear me.
She's just trying to get close to me.
Very therapeutic. It requires a lot of patience, I know, but it's good for us. So namaste. Thank you for your hard work today and your continued support. We are on the road to Charleston, South Carolina, and we'll be thinking of you all. Hope you have a lovely Sunday. Love you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Sean.